Well, thank you, Senator Lee, and thank you, Senator Hatch. Appreciate the opportunity for us to address this issue, which I know is important to the people of Utah. And I'll speak as the governor of the people of Utah, recently reelected, and recognize that as we look to the federal lands as a certain asset that we have here in the state of Utah, we look to its optimal use and optimal management. And I appreciate the advantages we have with public lands in our state. It's not lost on me, it shouldn't be lost on anybody else here, that we as a state have created 43 state parks. We recognize the treasures that we have there, and appreciate the fact that it not only helps us economically, but the quality of life that we enjoy here in Utah is enhanced because of our public lands. And we also understand, though, that the charter given to the BLM is one of multiple use. And it's not one at the exclusion of the other. It ought to be a balance in how we, in fact, manage those lands and how we utilize those lands. I think we've done a pretty good job, at least historically, in the state of Utah, in spite of some of the challenges we have and the disagreements that we've seen in the past. I'd like to just mention that, again, I think as we talk about the Bears Ears area, which is really the focus of this discussion here, I don't know that there's any people that do not agree that there ought to be some enhanced protections to that area. BLM has the ability to protect a lot of what's going on there now, but enhanced protections and respecting the traditions and the heritage of the Native Americans is an important part of this aspect. The question really is, how do we do that to its optimal benefit for the people of Utah, for the Native Americans, for the local communities? And I would submit to you it's better off to be done legislatively. I've talked with Secretary Jewell, and certainly the Obama administration all agree it should be done legislatively. It would be a better way, in fact, to accomplish the goal that we have of having some enhanced protections to that important part of the state of Utah. Lest anybody be confused, you know, we see here a show of forcing opposition to the monument. The latest Dan Jones poll shows that 60% of the people of Utah overall are opposed to a monument declaration. 33% favor of it and 8% undecided. All the elected officials really are in opposition, and the closer you get to the epicenter of Bears Ears, the more the opposition grows. We know that there are some out there that favor it, and that's part of the democratic process, but if we really care about the public lands and having optimal benefit that public lands gives to us as a community, locally, as a state, as a nation, then legislatively is a better vehicle to provide those protections and use of that property. If we care about the Native Americans and what they're trying to accomplish, they would like to have co-management. That can only happen with a legislative approach and a legislative fix. So if we want to do this right, we need to do it legislatively. I know it's easier to have somebody that has a stroke of a pen and just say, I've made the decision myself, regardless of differing opinions out there. I don't think that's the right way to do it. It's not necessarily the use of the Antiquities Act that causes me a problem and most of the people of Utah. It's the abuse of the Antiquities Act. The current president, as you've heard Senator Hatch talk a little bit about, has in fact declared 23 national monuments in his term of office, more than any other president in the history. 550 million acres is what he set aside based on his own decision. He's enhanced 4 others, so that's 27 different national monuments he's been involved with. We think that is just the wrong way to circumvent the Congress on something as important and as complex as this issue is. So my plea is to the President and the current administration is listen to the people of Utah. We are opposed to it, not opposed to the protections necessary in the Bears Ears area, but to the vehicle of a national monument as opposed to doing this the best way, the right way, which is legislatively. Thank you.